History has been obsessed with leaders from the dawn of time. People have always been fascinated by those who can unite opposing factions, who can win what seems like impossible battles, who can inspire those who are losing their courage to fight on and do great things. And in our modern culture, this fascination with leaders continues. We look up to those who can inspire us, who can change our thought processes, and who can make us feel like we can do more than we thought that we could. These are the people that we wish to align ourselves with, and these are the people that a lot of us want to be. In my original discussion post in this class, I wrote that I think most truly great leaders are born with an innate leadership ability that of course they have to cultivate through life, but they have a leg up on people who aren't born with this gifting. But even those who are not born as naturally gifted leaders, I think they still have the ability to develop these skills and become as good leaders as they can be and live up to their own potential. Leadership is definitely a skill that can be developed by anyone. And Kouzes and Posner's model in the Leadership Challenge model is a really good, I think, breakdown of the practices that make a good leader, that provides just a really good blueprint for those who, whether they're natural born leaders or just somebody who wants to become a leader in the capacity that they are able. And I think it's a great model for that. And just helps to simplify what these characteristics are and break them down into smaller chunks that can be understood and worked on. When I interviewed Dr. Kruse, I went into this interview with about 20 questions, leaving it kind of open-ended because I wasn't sure where it was going to go. And one of the things that really stuck out to me is how good she is at inspiring a shared vision and how important that is to her. She seems to really understand that in the classroom, the heart and soul of learning isn't to just pass that test and get a good grade. It's to understand the material, and not just understand the material, but understand the importance of the material and how it relates to today. And for someone who has a lot of similarities with her and is looking at a similar career path as probably an English professor or an English teacher in some capacity, her thoughts on this were just fascinating to me. We have all listened to someone in a classroom or in a church or some other sort of lecture where they were just truly passionate about what they were talking about, and it infected you and you were inspired. And it's so different from someone who just drones on and either isn't interested in what they are talking about themselves, or they just can't convey their own interest. And so I think learning how to not only be passionate in yourself, but how to convey that passion to others is just, as Kouzes and Posner and Dr. Kruse think, is just a huge, huge characteristic of good leadership. So one of the things that I really took away from this interview with her is just the importance of not just cultivating a deep love and passion and understanding of what you are attempting to convey as a leader, but figuring out how do I best tailor it to this audience and convey it in a way that makes it matter to them. This is something that Kouzes and Posner really highlight when they talk about inspiring a shared vision. Another thing that really stood out to me is the importance of building relationships with those whom you wish to lead. This often seems like something that is maybe counterproductive, like, okay, well, we could be spending this time accomplishing this goal, but no, instead we're all going to go out to dinner and we're going to talk, and this is just a waste of time. But it's actually not, because by taking the long way around, what seems like the long way around, you're actually building those relationships that get people on board with the mission and make them want to work with you and for you and get them on board with you as a leader. And now they will know that you care and you'll have those personal connections. So it's actually not a waste of time. It's actually very beneficial towards your goal. I think as Christians, and as specifically Christians who are inspired to lead, we cannot take this duty lightly in order to fulfill the Great Commission, which is to take the gospel into the world. That world also including our co-workers, our neighbors, our family members, our students. We need to have good leadership skills. If we can't convey the meaning of the gospel, even if we know it and are passionate about it in our hearts, if we can't convey that, then we're not doing as much as we could. We're not successfully fulfilling the Great Commission. So Kouzes and Posner's leadership model directly relates to the Great Commission. We need to be able to model the way, to inspire that shared vision, to be able to challenge traditional processes, enable others to act, and also encourage the heart. And as Christians, we're not supposed to sit in the corner and say, oh, I'm too shy, this is not for me, I can't do this. And no, it's our responsibility, our calling as Christians, to learn how to be leaders to our highest capacity so that we can bring the fullest measure of glory to God. That we are humanly able to. And when we learn to be leaders, we are living up to that potential that God has entrusted to us as Christians. We are investing our hearts and our souls and our lives into the rescuing and guidance of the lives around us. And that, in doing that, we become the regents that God set us on earth to be. So that's just some of what I learned from this class, and I am just really excited to be able to take all of these new skills and ideas into the future with me. Thank you, Professor Matfield.